Okay, welcome back. Turn 17 of Panzer, France 1940, scenario 36. So we're on to turn 17. Just saw turn 16 and 15 and 16. So let's see what happens with 17 and possibly 18. So we'll take a look from here. So where we're at, still trying to hold off attacks over here by this H-38. That's pushing hard to go get the town or try to get into the town. We're throwing up blocking tanks here, the Panzer 4D, 3F, a couple 3Fs over here, and the other 3F over here. We've got some more French tanks just kind of sitting back. They haven't really done anything, which I'm not sure. I think that's a function of the randomness of the solo game, and it is what it is. But more importantly, over here is the bigger thing. Over here on the right side for the hill, we've got one group of S-35s up on the hill, second group positioned here to get up there, and also some H-38s that could get up there as well. So this hill's looking like we're gonna lose it. But let's see how we do. First off, let's get into turn 17. So here we go. First off, we got to check for the end of game. So we got to roll a dice. 2 or less, the game will end after this turn. So let's see what we get. We roll a 2. Oh, okay. So this is the last turn. Turn 17 is going to be it for the game. So this will get interesting. Probably over here to see if we lose any units. So spotting phase. So we're just going to get rid of some of the. Just double check some of the spot fired, spot moves on there. Not much to check, so we'll go right into the commands, and you can see we're doing some fires here. We've got to take out this tank. Let's try to get into the town. Got some moves. Want to get these guys moving because they're vulnerable for this guy. Most likely he's going to shoot at a tank in front of him, but we've got to do something here. Going over to the right here, we've got some fire markers to try to shoot at units, try to take them out as much as possible. Okay, so there we have it. So we've got the initiative. Now they should have some overwatch and move fires. I'm not sure what happened over here, but these should have some moves and overwatches and fires up here. So anyways, let's go on with it. So the initiative phase, so it's plus 10, rolls 76, so we are going to be the first player. So we're going to do the direct fire. So first off, we'll get 301 here. That's these guys. Let's zoom in here just a hair. And they are going to take a shot at the H-38. First we got to do command check on them. They're going to be firing as well. So for us first, point blank, short haul, size, season. So it's 45 or less to hit. We roll a 2, that's a hit. Location is side rear, but it hits the hull. Hits the hull, so it's stopped by the wall. So that actually comes an automatic miss. That's too bad. We probably would have knocked him out. Okay, 202 up here takes a shot at them across there. And he needs an 81, rolls a 51. Location is side rear, 5. Again, hits the wall on the first shot. Second one in this hex over here. Oops. Gonna take a shot, rolls a 19, that's a hit. Same location, rolls a 1, hits up on the turret side, so now it's 8 to armor penetration of 11. Even with a variable dice roll, it wouldn't make it for us because it would only be a maximum of plus 2 and it would get to a 10. So that becomes a miss. Okay. So now we look at 102, which is over here. No, sorry. These Panzers over here firing at the infantry right here. So they're going to suppress them 58 to 82. 83 or greater is going to be effective. Rolls a 59, so they're suppressed. Second shot is an 88. It's effective. And that squad is, he should be destroyed. He's reduced. Excuse me, just reduced. Okay, so now we go to the French direct fire, which I'm not sure there's a lot of. I know over here we've got the H-38 right here. He's going to take a shot at 301, point blank. Light cover, moving through, so it's a 54 or less to hit. Rolls a 26. It's a front hull. It's a turret, which penetration is a 6. The armor is a 7. Variable penetration roll is a 6 and a 6. So that gets a 0, so it fails to penetrate. So that's a miss. Alright, so everything else, they don't have anybody to fire at. So now the critical point is the move phase to see if they get up on the hill. French move first. S-35, 701, 702, that's these guys. Let's see if they move out onto the hill. They roll a 14, it's going to be a move. And they're doing a move action, so they're going to move on the hill, but they got to roll a bog check. 40 or they're bogged if they're 40 or less. Roll a 24. Ah, they're stuck. They're not moving. Okay. So now we'll go to the 801. That's these guys right here. See if they move up the hill. They roll a 1. They do. Nearest friendly unit and route, safest. So they're going to go up the hill. Yeah, there we go. So they take 1 hex away from us. And then they're going to go over to there for 2. And now I should have Overwatch. Yeah, I'm not sure why these guys didn't Overwatch over here, but they've essentially taken the hill. 2 hexes of the 3 of the hill over here, and they didn't Overwatch fire. I'm not sure why, but anyways, we'll continue to play this out. So now we go to 111 and 112 back here in the town, and they are going to move, and they're going to go to greatest cover. Whoop, what happened here? Oh, I see. At this point, I looked and realized that the French, even though they could go 1, that would be 2, 3 up to here. They'll go 1 to here. Oops, 1 to, come on, 1 to here. 1 to here, 2, 3 to here. So they could not get any farther because this tank, of course, is bogged down. This, if it was a tank, could only move 2 to here and then 3 to there. So they can't get any more victory points. So that effectively ended the game at this particular point. And maybe that's why I didn't put, I thought I put Overwatch on here, but these shots probably would have been, you know, no effect shots over here. And all the other tanks for the French, yeah, are way back here and way back here, so they wouldn't necessarily be able to do anything to get into the town. So that's where the game ends. So now let's take a look at the point totals. So let me bring up the spreadsheet. So here we go. Here is the tally for the spreadsheet. So for losses here, we've got this right here for our side, the German side. Panzer IV-D, 302 and 303 were knocked out. So that gave the French, I think those are 38 apiece. So that'd be 76 points there. We'll check in a minute. But then from our perspective, we knocked out 1, 2, 3 H-38s right there. 302, 301, and 102, plus a rifle unit right there, and then 2 S-35s, which gave us quite a bit of points, much like the the Ds. I think that basically offset the Ds over there that we lost over there. So when we look at the points, in terms of French losses, there was 177 points for all of those units that I just described. 130 SSR units. Now those 130 SSR units were for just the town over here. We did not have this. This was not controlled by either side. They had two, we had one. So that means there was no control with that. So they didn't get any SSR points. So our total was 307 versus the 76 for the two Panzer 4Ds. Gives us a difference of 231, which gets us by the margin of victory here of 70 points to give us the victory. So with that said, 231 gets us the victory in here. A substantial victory, I should say, too. So that was good. That's kind of what I expected, holding the town and holding that hill as long as possible away from French counterattacks. Now, with that said, I really enjoyed this game. I did kind of take my time at this, and again, took my time with other videos and other things going on that I'm kind of slow getting it all completed for you, but really did enjoy this when I played this, and I did play this, kind of all the way through, all at once over the course of several days. Couple things to point out: the negative pieces of the solo bot. The solo bot is very good. It's very intricate. That's one of the things. You've got to get comfortable that you can't just play it once and feel like you've got it. You've really got to know what's going on. But a bit of the randomness. You probably could see this as we played through this particular scenario, because we had a lot of tanks, a lot of French tanks that came out. I don't know how many here, but each one of these are tanks. So there's 2, 4, 6 here, and then there's 8. There's 10 here, 12, 14, and then we've got 16, 18, 20, 22 tanks, and then just 2 infantry, which, not unreasonable. It kind of made for an interesting battle. But the other thing is just the randomness of their movement. Some things kind of made sense, like these tanks up here kind of pulling back a little bit, or not engaging a little bit, kind of made sense between the French doctrine and the command structure. Kind of held them up, and that kind of makes sense with that. Some other things, like when they were engaged up here, like this tank and these tanks over here, kind of very piecemeal attack across here, even when they were close together. I might have reconsidered. I kind of played this straight with the rolls, with the random rolls for their actions and the directions and so forth and so on. I'm kind of thinking some of this might have been overridden as we had groups of these tanks kind of coming together and seeing each other and being relatively close to each other, like they're only 1 hex away, 100 meters away from each other. So there might have been a little bit more mutual support in that kind of close action positions there as well. This over here worked out kind of well. These tanks did kind of get a little lost. These guys, and these guys coming through the town. This unit got kind of lost in the town. And again, kind of thinking maybe a little bit of overriding, have them, drive hard for these victory locations, might have made this a little bit more interesting and a little bit harder for the Germans, rather than the randomness on there. So, anyways, that was just my observations with this. The randomness seemed to really creep in a little bit with the solo bot, although I do really like the solo bot for giving some very good guidance in terms of what to do. You may want to, if you're playing this or other ones, you may want to take a hard look at what your doctrine is going to be for the solo bot's attack and what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to accomplish with it work through some strategy, or just trying to see how historically these tanks played out. You may want to override this a little bit as things are going on. I think as the Germans, you play very well to race up here and get in here, because these German tanks are much lighter than their counterparts, and you could probably see by some of the shots that were taken on them and the number of hits and just damaged hits. You could see that these tanks are just not the equal of the French tanks in terms of firepower and armor. In terms of maneuverability, they're much more maneuverable. In terms of command structure, they're much better command structure and much more capable. And I think you may have saw that a little bit up here when we had this little skirmish between our Panzer IIIs and the S-35s. The S-35s are very deadly tanks if they get shots on you, because it's very hard to hit them from the front and knock them out. Panzer IIIs, it's impossible. Panzer IVs are better, but they are very thin armored and likely in a face-off would likely come out on the losing side. So you've got to really think about it. You've got to really develop your tactics well when you're thinking about playing this as the Germans. So very interesting scenario. Really liked it. The solo capabilities within Panzer, I think, are very good. This battle was very good. I really like this in terms of the whole experience of France 1940 and everything that moves along there as well. So we'll probably be back with more France 40, maybe not necessarily in Panzer, but in other forms on the channel a little bit later on. But for now, this is the Panzer version of this. I think what's next up for Panzer is maybe going to North Africa again, revisiting that, and playing a scenario there. I'm not sure if I'll put Vassal, or I may actually get it on the table in preparation for some other things that I have coming down the road. So may see a North Africa one coming up next for this. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you like my Panzer playthroughs. You folks really do enjoy them, looking at my statistics on them. It seems that these are some of the more popular ones here as well. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing the whole thing played through turn by turn, and see how it goes. So I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you on the next one.